The left charade is falling to pieces. After an absolutely explosive day of Senate testimony on Capitol Hill, Tucker Carlson came out on his nightly show and delivered a knockout blow to the corrupt D.C. swamp, slamming the DOJ for its clear role in the January 6 Fedsurrection and calling out Pelosi's Sham 1/6 Commission for their sudden defense of suspected Fed and notorious 1/6 catalyst Ray Epps. It's been clear for a while now that the Department of Justice probably had some role in the events of January 6, it's obvious. And after hearings on Capitol Hill today, it became even clearer. During his latest must-watch segment, Carlson highlighted Senator Ted Cruz's pointed exchange with FBI National Security Branch Executive Assistant Director Jill Sanborn, blasting her for refusing to answer several simple, straightforward questions about the government's involvement in January 6. The shocking lack of answers all but served as a confirmation that federal agents were actively participating in the events on January 6. Sanborn cannot even answer Cruz when he asks point-blank if any federal agents committed any crimes of violence, which, as Carlson correctly points out, is something that should be easily deniable. Her weak answer was just not good enough, and according to Carlson, Sanborn should be forced to answer the question immediately. Cruz asked, quote, "Did any FBI agents or FBI informants commit crimes of violence on January 6? The obvious answer is, are you kidding? Come on now, of course the FBI isn't secretly committing crimes of violence, that's insane. We are a federal law enforcement agency, we're not the Taunton Macoute. Next question please." That's what Jill Sanborn should have said, but that's not what she said. Instead she replied, quote, "I can't answer that." But of course Jill Sanborn can answer that, and she should be forced to answer that immediately. No sources or methods would be revealed, just answer the question. Did they participate in violence or not? Why is that hard? It tells you a lot. After calling out Sanborn, Carlson also torched Assistant U.S. Attorney General Matt Olsen for his equally pathetic testimony from earlier in the day. Despite acknowledging Ray Epps' existence, Olsen refused to provide any information whatsoever about him when he was being questioned by Senator Tom Cotton, RAR. "I simply don't have any information at all about that individual," Olsen responded. Once again, not nearly a good enough answer for Carlson, who sarcastically added, "They really expect you to believe that. So, the DOJ knows nothing about Ray Epps, the guy on the most wanted list, right?" Almost immediately after the train wreck Senate hearings, the corrupt 1/6 Commission shamelessly attempted to run damage control by tweeting out an odd acknowledgement of Ray Epps that claimed they had interviewed the suspected Fed back in November 2021. But if the Democrats had already interviewed this guy and cleared him of all suspicions, then why in the heck would they wait this long to announce it? And conveniently on the day when two top law enforcement officials were forced to address Epps for the first time under oath? Something's not adding up here. As Carlson points out, there are several questions that now need an answer. That's absurdly false, and as if to underscore how absurdly false it is, within a short time after the testimony, Democrats on the January 6 committee released a statement claiming that, actually, they had already interviewed Ray Epps, and anyone who still has questions about his behavior on January 5 or 6 is a dangerous conspiracy theorist. When exactly, and under what circumstances did the committee talk to Ray Epps? Supposedly this interview was conducted in secret this last November. If that is true, we don't know that it is, but let's say that it is, then why did the committee wait months to tell us today in a tweet? When the committee got its hands on Mark Meadows' text messages, we seem to remember they leaked those to the media within hours. And by the way, was this Ray Epps interview conducted under oath? Did Democrats subpoena his electronic communications, as they did with Meadows and so many others? Will the information that Epps revealed to the committee be made available to the January 6 defendants who are now awaiting trial? Can their lawyers see a transcript of this interview? Can we see a transcript of this interview? If not, why not? What's so odd about the Democrats' acknowledgement of Epps is that they have completely flipped the script when describing his actions on January 6, with crybaby Rhino Representative Adam Kinzinger even calling him just a protest attendee earlier today. That's some glowing PR for a man who led the charge into the Capitol grounds, sparking the worst insurrection in U.S. history. In a stunning flip-flop, Democrats have changed their tune completely, going from not even acknowledging Epps' existence to downright protecting him against their own narrative in just 24 short hours. According to Carlson, Epps, he wasn't just someone who was there, he was maybe the central figure there. And yet Democrats, for reasons that aren't at all clear, suddenly seem highly protective of Ray Epps. They don't want you to criticize him. Adam Kinzinger described Ray Epps today as, quote, nothing but a January 6th protest attendee. Really? Nothing but an attendee? He is of course the opposite of that. Of everyone there, Ray Epps is the one you should be maddest at, if you are the Democratic Party, and yet they're telling you he was just an attendee, not an insurrectionist, not a terrorist, just an attendee.